I don't consider this to be a system or even a program really. I view it more as an education that will teach you what you need to learn in order to buy foreclosures in any market at any stage of the process with confidence while limiting risk. Now, as far as social proof goes, what better proof could one have than something that you've witnessed personally? I think it's safe to say that most, if not all of us, have either driven by a property or have been told by a trusted friend or relative that a home down the block or across town sold for a ridiculously low price. This happens every day all over the US. What better proof do we need than having witnessed it ourselves or being told by someone we love and trust? Now, I'm not going to convince you of something that you already know and are aware of. You know this to be true because you hear about it all the time. I will, however, hop online and show you a very small sample of what's happening in one small county that's happening across the US, and I think there's over 3,000 plus counties in the US. So let's hop on a screencast and take a quick peek. Hi, welcome to the social proof video. I am going to just hop on here and show you a few of the properties that sold in 2019. I went back to 2019 because COVID hit in 2020, and with the government mandates and everything, it really goofed up the foreclosure market, and that's why we're going to see a landslide of them coming at us here shortly. With that said, let's hop on down to a few of these properties. I did want to show you one in particular here that is just a crazy buy. This property sold on 12/4 of 2019 for $3 million. This is super uncommon property. I'll show it to you here. 126 Office Street. So at first glance, this just looks like your average industrial property or commercial property. Nothing real special. It has a pole barn, but I don't know, I was looking at it going, why would that sell for $3 million, right? But if we look at the map here and take a little bit closer look, it's actually a 97 unit mobile home park. And according to my calculations, if you were to take, 97 units at $350 per month for lot rent, you're just shy of $34,000 a month income. That's a really good buy. Super good buy. Let's see what happened to this property. It actually sold a year later for $6 million. Twice as much money. So you'd have made just shy of $3 million on that property, which is insane, right? So let's just hop on down and take a look. That one's kind of out of the ordinary. You don't see those every day. There is actually another one right here by the same company, but that one didn't resell, so I didn't pull that one up. But then we'll hop down and take a peek at another one. This is actually a pretty good one. I remember this house. I missed this one. Let's see. So this property is nothing real spectacular, right? It's a cute little house. It has a walkout in the front. The lot next door, it has a shed that needs to be torn down. But this is actually off the lake. It's not on the lake. It's actually across the street from the lake. But it does have access. So it has a dock right here. But this property, I know he came out really well on it. Let's see. He bought it for $100. They bought it for $125,000. And if I remember right, yeah, they sold this property for $300. So we don't need a calculator to figure it out. I mean, he made $175,000, which is fantastic. That's a great buy. Go to this one on Church Street. This one sold for $57,700. So we'll hop over here and take a quick peek. Where was this property? Sorry if I'm moving fast. I'm trying not to take up too much of your time. Now this property here looks like a manufactured home to me. Let's see. You can always tell because the doors are pretty close to the doors and windows are very close to the eaves, and it has a lower roof pitch. So this one sold for $57,000. Where is its sale price? Oh, looks like somebody actually paid $75,000 for it. But then that person made $195,000, almost $200,000 on the property. Wow, that's fantastic. That's a great deal. So, and I'm just touching on the top earners here. Most of these properties, you know, they're all somewhere around that $50,000-$60,000 range. I was just hitting on some of the big daddies. Going down to this one here. This one sold for $53,600. These are not uncommon. This is happening all over the nation. I mean, this is not this one county. This is a rural county in Minnesota. I'm just giving you an example of what's happening. This is a pretty nice property. Looks like there's no siding on there. They must be waiting for stucco or siding, one of the two. It looks like this one could actually be a highway house with those boards like this. Usually you'd have sheathing on the outside, not boards. So this could be an older house that they put on here. Let's take a peek. Some of the other pictures. Yeah, it looks like they're waiting for stucco, I think. So they were doing some remodel. And it looks like that property sold for $250,000. From $53,600, that's a stretch. That's a good profit margin. But on 7/11 of 2019, 7 of 2019, so they paid 30 here, so I think with the 53 they probably have 80 something into it, which would leave them with, you know, $167,000, $170,000 in profit, which is fantastic. That's an awesome deal. I'll hop down here to this one here. It sold for $17,000. So it was foreclosed on for $17,000. I'm going to take a peek here. Let's just look. Let's change hand a couple times. 17. Somebody bought it from 17. The first person sold it for 109, which is what, a $90,000 deal. And then the person that bought it at 109 then sold it for 223, which is an even better deal, 110. That's fantastic. Just over 110 grand. That's a good deal. Let's see. So we'll drop down here for 11. I remember this one. This is a pretty good one. $12,500. They purchased this property for. And this is a townhouse. This end unit, I believe, has a nice brick front. And they sold this property for $214,900. And they purchased it for $12,500. That is a fantastic deal. That's a great deal. So then we're going to hop down here to 621 Rose. Let's see what this one is. Oh no, that one was just a value. They got a great value deal on that one. I can show it to you. Anyway, let's see. I don't think this one changed hands. This was a commercial one too, I think. Yeah, this was a commercial property. Unit 3 in here. But the total estimated value on it's $605,000. And they purchased that property for $203,000. That's a really good deal. Gained $400,000 in equity just buying something there. And this one sold for $77,000. Take a peek. And this, like I said, this is happening everywhere. It's just a matter of there's so much money left on the table that people just are unaware of. This has a nice tuck under garage. Must have stairs going up into the house. Take a peek at this one. Let's see. Well, originally, let's see, what did that sell for? It sold for $77,000. So the first person that bought it sold it for $120,000, and then the next person, yeah, so basically $50,000, and then they made, and the next person made $70,000. which is fantastic as well. I mean, most people work an entire year for that money. And we'll take another look here. We'll do this one last, I guess. Take a peek at this one. This one sold for $77.9 and change. And these prices are actually pretty high considering that it's almost the top of the market. When the market crashes and corrects itself, these prices are going to drop into the 50s. Oh, it looks like that is the last one. We just did that one, 146. Or no, I copy and pasted the last one. Sorry. Let's see. Take a peek here. Sorry about that. We'll hop onto this one. What is this? Looks like it needs a little repair. Looks like they need a water softener. It's changing the color of their siding. The well water. Spraying on the house. But all in all, looks like it's in pretty decent shape. And what did this one sell for here? This one sold for $119. Well, how did that look? $119. Looks like somebody nabbed it for $110 shortly after. But then the person that held it or bought it next sold it for $249. It's a $140,000 profit there. That's fantastic. That's a good deal. So just to show you a few of these, this is so common. This is actually a pretty rural area. It's not high density where you have tons and tons of properties and the population is not real high. So if you get into the more dense metropolitan areas, these lists are hundreds of properties long and there's so many millions of dollars left on the table you wouldn't even believe it. I mean, just looking at what we did. But when the market crashes or corrects, you're going to see property prices that are more along the lines of this than you are on the higher end. 25 to 50% of the value is typically what you're going to see when this market corrects itself. Let's hop back to the video. Thank you. Okay, now that we've looked at some of the foreclosures that have actually happened and the money that was made on them, there's some really great deals out there. So I want to say that when the market changes again, which I believe is going to be very, very soon, these prices will change dramatically. Take a look at this historical graph for those who question whether there will or will not be a market correction. This graph charts the real estate cycle from 1795 to 2013. Currently, in 2021, it's higher than any point on this chart. Can you recognize a predictable pattern here? I believe we'll soon have prices that are 20 to 25% of their current value. Let's learn what we need to, let's study up, and let's get ready to buy some houses.